Hello everyone, this is Triton Baduk, and we are finally at 3Q on Fox. It'll be exciting to see if the play is any different, how it compares to the 1Qs we've been playing on Taijim. Yeah, it'll just be nice to have a different rank to play at for now. All right, so let's just jump in and see if we can find a game. It shouldn't take too long.
Start to play.
Yep, not too long at all. I am black, so I think I'm going to start with just 244 points. Let me turn my volume down though. There we go. And just approach low. Oh, it's kicking me. Two space. There's not really anything we can do to it right now, but there is a little bit of extra weakness there. I'm just going to play a simple 3-space extension here. I guess right now is when they'd want to play a 3-3 point somewhere or approach. Oh, playing inside right away. There's something you can see with the kick on the 4-4 point, but with this one, it's a little bit weird. I think I want to just stay connected, so I'll attach on top. Not really sure how I feel about this, but I think I just need to, as I said, stay connected. And because of this extension here, it does feel like there is some sort of Aji here, but luckily we can play at E16 and protect this cutting point in Sente. Because he doesn't want me pushing through there. We could extend here, but I think the most solid move would be to just capture the stone. And now instead of a position there, we have a very, like instead of just that 2-space, the 2 stones with the 3 space, we now have a very solid, very strong position. So he's playing very, very close to my position here. So we don't want to just turn here, let him jump, and let him get away with everything. This is a bit too much. So I will approach the corner here, which is also pincering these 2 stones. The kick is going to make me stronger, which is nice. And now I think we'll just still do the attachment here, like we have in the 5Q games, and see how it goes. And cut. We've seen this a few times, so you should know it by now. Well, quite a few times, huh? So in this case, it could be good to attack from this side. Force him to run out this way and surround. But I think I'm just going to connect because this opens up a really nice position on the bottom for me. So just connecting seems fine. He already spent this time giving me a very solid eye here. And I have this drop down into the Hane to make a second eye if I need to. This move is definitely a bit of an overplay. Just play the elephant's eye here. And playing here will still weaken these stones, so it's still good. And we can surround this left side group now, because we're very strong on both sides. So this was a very bad peep, and he should definitely not have tried to save it. Let's see what he does. I'm going to double Hane. And if he cuts me off like this, I'll be able to Atari here and then go back and connect. So Atari here, like I said. And then I can just connect solidly here. And I will have more liberties than he will on his group. And he still needs to try to surround me in a very strong way. Okay. Just stay connected. I think I will just... there's turning here. There's just going down. Not really sure. I think I will just go straight down. I was letting him try to figure out his own life before I do anything else. So he can potentially live here now, but I think he's actually not alive. He owes a couple moves still. But it's way more important to play on the outside now. This move was very important for him to play, but he never played it. It was very important to try to surround my group first. And I can just connect up to my corner, making some points on the bottom, which is nice. If he runs this stone out, then I can just jump out and attack him in the center. So it's not necessarily a really good idea. But since he decided not to run it out, I'm just going to capture this stone. And now would be a good time for him to make sure he's alive. So he decided to live here, which is probably still good. But he did not live on the left side here. So if I Hane and connect, he has like a 3 shape here. And if he plays here first, then I can jump here. If he does something over here, then it looks like I can play inside. So that looks like it's just strictly dead if I get one move. Or if he gets a move, it looks like he can try to live. Since this group is alive on the outside, I have 2 options here. I could kill the group, or I could try to play like an enclosure here or over here. But I have a lot of strength here. So I think either one should be fine. In this case, I will just go ahead and kill the group because this is my profit for him going overboard, I think. And then I just jump here, and he's dead. Because I can connect on either side. Because I was able to also protect the outside, that made it so that there's nothing he can really do to save the group, which is why I thought he might try to run this out. Like I was saying, if he ran it out, I could probably just attack the group on the bottom. That move is not doing anything. He's still dead. So now I'll get to enclose this corner and protect at the same time, which will be nice. Now there shouldn't really be any Aji here. Maybe they can still get a Ko, but this should be a fairly solid chunk of territory on the bottom. Nah, they're going for it right away. I could try to fight back really hard, but I think it's fine to just let him have it if he wants it. This is not the correct way to do it, though. Let's see what move he plays here. Ah, I thought this should have been a very common shape to know. I even made a video about it. My very first video I ever made was about these corner shapes here. And sadly, this is just dead. So I always want to reduce from the outside first, right? Then you play the vital point. The 2-1, 1-2 points are almost always Mii in the corner. Then you keep reducing from the outside. And this is another reducing move, a nice little Tesuji, the throw in. This is the J group, or the pig snout, I believe. Very common shape. His only option was the Ko, but I guess he did not know that. And now Atari here means no eyes. To prevent any sort of shenanigans on the bottom, I will jump here. But there shouldn't really be anything now. Ah, there we go. This 3-3 should be perfectly fine. And I think blocking this way makes sense. Keep the top as flat as possible. And I could even do this move here. And just make an extension on the side. And that should be fine. He wants to get into the corner. So I guess I'll Hane.
Yoyomi now starts.
And just connect, should be fine, because now I have this move here at P18, which prevents him from connecting up, I believe. He's trying to run this one out. I think I should just Hane directly, make my group safe. There's a nice little Tesuji here with this Hane, which reduces his liberties so that he can't cut me. And now the corner is dead here. There's another common move that I would probably have expected a 3Q to know. But it's good to know that they might not know these things right now. I will just jump here to get some strength against this group here on the top. It looks like I can just push and cut. And capture on this side or the other side, it looks like. And just connect. So we got some points there, but now everything should be fine for me. This group is 100% alive. There's no reason to really worry. So the only thing that I want to mess with here would be his group. My only potential weakness is with this side, I think. So I think I want to jump up here first to strengthen this side and threaten this group. And now just slowly surround these stones. That is not a peep, because when he cuts here, I can capture these stones. So if I jump here and he turns, I can Hane. If he cuts, then I can extend, which allows me to completely surround him. Is there any worry there?
9, 8,
1, 2,
7,
3 liberties versus
6,
2.
5,
It seems possible.
4.
But at the very minimum, me jumping here should be okay. So if I do this, he cuts, and I extend, and then he cuts here, then I can capture these stones. If he plays here, then I still have to capture the stones. So this looks like it just works. This is the type of game that you don't necessarily need to count, regardless of who's ahead or behind. It's all just about making sure you're reading things correctly. Just connect. If I connect, I still have 3 liberties versus his 2 liberties, so I'm fine. I can just Atari this, because he can't pull this stone out. And I should basically be fine everywhere. Where's the potential weakness in my shape? It feels like this here is a potential weak spot. The cut here is potential.
9, 8, 7.
So I think
6,
I might
5,
want to protect
4.
on this side to make sure this cut doesn't do anything. If he's able to cut here and was able to pull the other stone out, then my left side group could become weak. I might still have enough liberties to fight back, but it's better to protect yourself. So now we just need to find the right shape move to try to connect back to our other stones. It's not too like worrisome. I think just this 2 space here or this move should be fine. It's just to make sure this
9,
cutting point doesn't really do anything. So I think this
7.
2 space here should be okay. I'm playing a little bit further away instead of right on so that he doesn't have any extra double peep stuff. And I'm just focusing on protecting this group. In this case, he played a bad shape move, so I was just pushing through it. And then I can just protect my shape here. I could do it with this move. But I think I'm going to play this one here to make sure everything's just connected up solidly. Just going to push down here. It gets rid of any eyes here. And then connect here instead of throwing in. Now there should only be 1 eye in the area with my stones all connected up. I'll just connect. Just play simple. Now that my stones are all connected up to each other, I don't need to worry about this cut anymore because these stones are connected to this live group on this side. I think this empty triangle might actually be the right move here to poke at the shape and to prevent him from getting 2 eyes right away. And also be the most solid move to play in this area. Kind of interesting, honestly. So now there's no eye on this side. There's no eye over here. If he plays this move and I push here, so he has to connect here, but then he also needs to make an eye here and here. So it looks like there's nothing in the area, which means
9,
I can just
8,
play
7,
elsewhere.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
So let's extend over here to reinforce my group on this side. And when I push down here, there is a little bit of Aji in the area. Because this cut into this cut into the Atari here means that there is something here. But he reinforced, so I think I can just either extend down or capture these stones directly to prevent any problems.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'll just extend down. Either one works, I think. He's cutting me, which doesn't do anything because he can't really Atari me for the other side. So he has this move and then this move to Atari. But after he plays one of those, I just capture the stones, so it's not too big of a deal. So this actually gave me a point potentially, or I guess it could be a negative, like +1 and -1 at the same time.
8, 7, 6,
Hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm just going to play here to sort of reinforce the area. And it seems like there's not really too much left to play. So I guess it's all end game at this point. So I guess we want to connect this stone. That's a fairly big capture for him. There aren't really too many points over here, so I'm not really worried about it. I could get this one in Sente and potentially grow a couple points here, but I don't know. This cut doesn't really do much. So I'm going to turn here first so that when I play here, it is a nicer shape. It's the table shape in this case. Looks like I can push through. Just to try to get a little bit extra. And then to defend the area the most solid way, it would be the bamboo joint, I think. I could try to get a little bit more points with the Hane, but I think it doesn't really matter because of all the dead stones in the area. But since my shape is very strong, it seems hard for him to take advantage of anything. So I guess it's not too much in the area. If I push and cut here,
9,
he connects
8,
here, then I Hane.
6, 5, 4,
Hmm,
3.
doesn't seem like there's anything really there. So I'm just going to Hane directly and see if he lets me get some points in this area. Just a couple is good. Now he still has to worry about all of these stones. As a matter of fact, I think, yeah, there we go. I think he has to Atari now. I'll just connect. Yeah, it's hard to know when to play those sorts of moves. If I should have played there first, or if I should have tried to let him do something. There's still this Atari into this, into the extension here, which allows there to be some sort of cut on this side. So yeah, it's hard to say. There's no follow-up if I just drop down directly, so I might as well Hane. Oh, so he wants to live here. He can live. But it's not cutting off anything. This group is still dead, and this group is still dead, so it's not quite good enough. But that was a good move. It was actually, was not at all thinking about it. But that means that I do need to follow up in the corner here. Otherwise, I wasted too much. So this push is Sente. There we go. And now we need to see what's possible over here. Push, cut. Doesn't really look like there's anything possible here.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
So I'll just Hane. And Hane again. This. So these moves are probably Sente-ish. Because this cut should be Sente. He has to Atari from this side, right? So Anything over here should probably be Sente.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Hmm.
4,
I
3,
guess I'll just play that
2,
now.
1.
I'll push in and then do this move. Because there's not really that much left. Hmm. Very good. I guess this cut from earlier is potentially 2 points. Now he's trying to live here. I'll just peep here. And then play this move, which gets rid of this eye and threatens to take away this eye as well. Hmm. Not really sure that's actually anything, but I'm fine with responding to it because it gets me some extra points. And then just Atari should be fine. We'll just push into the area and see what we get. Like I said, it doesn't seem like there's too much left over. Just some small moves. So let's play some small ones. See what happens. Not sure what the score is, but I should be fairly ahead. He was alive. I'm not sure what that move really does. If I played it, he had to connect here, but it didn't get rid of any points. So I'd say that was probably a minus point move. I'll connect here. You can do this Atari and then this Atari. I need a drink. So he decided to cut instead. So I guess I'll get an extra point here. Could have taken it on either side. I decided to do this side because if I have the eye here, then I don't have to worry about any sort of weird throw-in stuff and reducing liberties. I will connect here, I think. Yeah, just because if he Ataris, then he can throw in here. But he played one inside my territory, so it is a negative, a net negative, a net positive, who knows. No bonus for anybody. I'm not losing points and he's not gaining anything. I'm not exactly sure what that move is doing. To prevent any sort of shenanigans, I guess I could just
9,
throw in here. Okay. And I guess just keep playing in-gamey stuff. So let's just take the point over here. He always has this Atari. So I can probably just capture these stones. If he throws in, I capture the Ataris, I connect. There's no shortage of liberties. So I think just playing this move over here is bigger because that didn't really gain him a point or lose me a point. Looks like I just need to block. Because there is one eye over here if he connects up, and then that would be 2 eyes. So I don't want to let that happen again like I did on the left side. Connecting there doesn't really make sense. Maybe he's trying to create some sort of short liberties. Let's capture here, which is threatening to Atari at L19. There we go. This move is still Sente, I believe. Atari, and capture. And that looks like everything. So I guess I will just connect. We'll play the Dame. That's not an I. And he has to throw in here and play here and play these two moves. So if he plays two moves here and then throws in, then I'll just Atari.
8.
So I don't think there's anything to worry about
6,
there.
5, 4, 3, 2.
So
1.
I guess just keep playing Dame. I think this is Chinese counting, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Right? I'll do this now then, I realized. With Chinese counting, it doesn't matter if you play in your own areas. Right? I always forget about that. And now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 moves he has to play, and I need to play 2, so I'll just keep doing this for now. All right, let's see. He really did not want to let this go at all. I wonder how many players are going to find like this. I don't think we actually found anyone at 5Q that did that. I think it was all pretty nice, if I remember right. I'll just block this one. And I think that's... Oh, there's 2 more. I think that was pretty close to everything. Throws in here, I still have this liberty and this liberty, so I'm fine. And that should be everything. So request counting. Let's see. Accept 49 and 3/4. So I have to say that was an interesting first game at 3Q. It was sort of all about reading, but he just played some very slow, very bad moves in the opening, which led to me having a really good position. And I think there was a way for him to try to fight back, but he just didn't take it. So I think I want to go over that, and I think that'll be probably it. Everything else was just me slowly capturing and him not really giving up. It was kind of surprising to me that it was kind of our first experience at 3Q, and it was kind of I would argue this is a bad experience for any sort of rank. And I don't even remember this actually happening at the 5Q level. I think a lot of them would resign, or they would play fairly normal moves instead of trying to play the if you Tanuki, I'm going to win moves, which is what he was doing in the upper right. And then I Tanuki'd a bunch of times, and I still captured. So, but let's look at the beginning where I think he could have tried to fight back in a more effective way. So at the beginning here, I decided to just do 2 4 4 points because I haven't really done that too much as black. And I still really like this low approach here. Now, normally with what he played in the game, which was the kick, you just want to do the 1 space here or the knight's move here. It's hard to say that this move is really bad, but I know that it's just a little bit loose, and for some reason we don't play it. So I'm going to have to look that up. And this, it's a bit weird. I think I mentioned this before, but like I think it was actually in either my 1Q video or something like that. But the idea here is with this kick and enclosure If white plays here, you could potentially jump in right away so that you can get this Hane and Sinte. The exchange here is this very, very thick position for white, but you also get to solidify the corner on a fairly large scale. This is a pretty big corner. Like, let me see, that's like 15 or so points in the corner. That's quite nice. But often if you do this too early, it just leaves your opponent more options for the middle game stuff. There's less weakness that they have to worry about in exchange for this little bit of extra corner you get. But in the case on the left, it's not really the same. So all he wanted was to try to get rid of, I'm not exactly sure. Like, he just wanted to try to turn my group into something weak, but he should know, everyone should know at that 3Q, that this sort of invasion, let's see, he did the Hane and come out here. This sort of thing should be fairly easy to read. That I can defend here in Sente, and that I can just capture the one stone. And this makes this group very, very strong on the outside. And white isn't necessarily that much more rich, you could say, especially with the cutting points in the area. And so I was also surprised to see not this peep. This is fine. I was actually half expecting him to do both peeps just because he can. It's what a Fan Hui called a drug move. You see it and you know you can play it, so you play it and you feel good now. You're like, oh, I played the peep. I feel good. But just because it's a Sente move doesn't mean it's a good move to play. But this was the move that I think was very bad. This doesn't really do anything, you know? This doesn't really attack me. This doesn't really make me weak in any way. Because even here, at the very minimum, we have this to just be alive directly. And it doesn't even sacrifice that much on the outside. The outside is still basically as weak as it was before, just a very small amount stronger. And then if they defend one more time, then yes, it's stronger now, but I'm 100% alive and I can Tanuki. I always have that way to live, unless he plays one more move to get rid of that. And if he does one more move, then that's very, very slow. This also allows me to just approach the corner. I can pretend that these two stones don't even really exist. I'm just extending from my group over here, approaching the corner. And then again, this thing we've seen before, I can probably attack in a little bit more of a severe way. Even in my 6th on games, I don't really want to get in that sort of variation, which is why I still prefer to do this for now and to take these free moves and defend, because I surround and get the bottom side, as well as making these stones more weak. Now, this was probably not terrible for white, and we're getting onto the part where he could fight a little bit better. I think, honestly, though, he should probably just jump up from here. These two, you have to pretend that these two stones don't really exist when you're making a shape for this group. I think just jumping out with this is a stronger way to play. This could make shape, but because these stones are in contact with my black stones here, this shape is a lot weaker and a lot more thin than it normally would be. So if you just pretend that you're jumping out from just the one stone instead, you can make a little bit of stronger shape. Then if I protect, when you push up here, you have the table shape now, and one more move here would basically make white alive. So I think this was actually a fine move, though, because me coming through here and fighting back was a potentially good way to save these stones. But what he should have done was just jump out again. If I jump out here, now he can try to get this sort of peep and try to make some strong shape in the area. And it's a little bit awkward because of how strong my group is, but maybe actually this move could be the best move, because I can't really, oops, I don't know why I did that. There we go. I can't really push and cut anything because these two stones are not important, and now this group is very strong. So the best way for me to attack is probably to play the vital point itself or to jump out. And even though I can live directly, jumping out here is probably still very important, because I don't want to have to play that very sad life. It could even just extend here. But this would probably be a good way to play. You sacrifice the 1 stone. There's a nice Tetsuji. And you make shape for your other side. But when he comes out here instead and allows me to surround him, I think I probably could have done it a different way, honestly. I think maybe I could just jump and surround like this. But I still don't like to let my groups get surrounded completely. So I still prefer this style of attack. But it is a little bit risky if white plays the proper way. When I protect here, he needs to come down on this side. He could potentially jump here, but just over here in general first. If he forces me to make some bad exchanges here to live, yes, he's probably dead over here, but he got a lot of strength on this side and is now able to try to do something else. And also come out and attack with this stone. Because this group is only dead if I save these 3 stones and I save this group here. So even though this was sort of a mistake on white's part, this would be the right way to try to fix the mistake. But him trying to live directly was not the best idea. As you saw in the game, I can just Hane and connect, and the group is now dead. So because of that, I can jump off to the side, and if he decides to play a move over here to live, and I'm not even sure that one's alive directly, but let's say he does live directly. Now I will be able to attack these stones, and so you can see how him living directly is definitely a much worse result than him trying to attack me on the outside and make use of the dead stones he has. Apart from that, I think the rest of the game doesn't really matter as much. I think that was the most important area. And I guess if you are interested, you should actually check out the very first video I made, because I did cover this shape. If you are 3Q and you also did not know this, that's something you need to study. The basic corner life and death shapes are very important to know. Anyway, just go to the end. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day and have fun.